Today, I'm going to be breaking down In Pieces by Chlöe, where as usual, I will be talking you through the various elements of the track as we go through it. Before we go ahead and get into the video though, if you have an artist or a track that you would like me to check out, pop it into the comments. Also, if you like new music and you want to hear more of it, go ahead and check out my main channel, Pure Urban Music, link in the description below. 100% of the royalties do go directly back to the artist, so if you want to get involved, show your support, then yeah, go ahead and check that out. Let's get it.
I wanna be where you are, fearless lying by your side while you count the stars. I'm like a child in this place. Watch me turn in circles like a tiger in a cage. Oh, I know it's complicated. Oh, but you don't have to say a single word.
Okay, right, so let's kick this off. Right, I really like the fact that we've just got piano and Chlöe, right? Really, I'm a massive fan of these kind of stripped back and intimate tracks, mainly because you really get to hear the vocals, right? And I think this is something that, as listeners, and I include myself sometimes, right? I forget it, but as listeners, we don't have an appreciation for actually how difficult this is to do, because when people do it and they do it right and they execute it to perfection, it just looks easy. And so we just kind of take it for granted. Oh, well, this person can sing, so they can do it. Actually, not every singer, even the good ones, can just sit down at a piano, have this stripped back track and actually execute it vocally. Secondly, absolutely love the key changes that we've had. And not only because it's just nice, but what it does is it brings diversity to the track, right? It kind of adds a bit of a different dynamic to the track, and we need that because it's so stripped back. We've got nothing else, no other instruments or anything kind of aiding that diversity. But what that means is that we also end up getting diversity or a shift in terms of dynamic with the vocals as well, because you can't just sit there changing keys on a piano, right, and not kind of adapt or change your range or your voice or your tone or whatever it be to kind of match that, because it would just sound odd. You've got these key changes and you're just going to stay at this kind of normal. No, it wouldn't sound right at all. I really like the fact that they're adding like some reverb or echo onto Chlöe's vocals, especially, I mean, they're there all the time, but you hear it most in the first verse when it really is kind of stripped back. Some producers will call that like a wetness, or refer to it as a wetness to the vocals. And essentially what that's doing is it's kind of padding out or filling out the track a little bit more, but also making those vocals a lot more prominent, a lot more kind of wider, right? And it's just much more enjoyable, right? They just sound a lot better. And then finally, what I really like is the fact that they're throwing in some harmonies now, right? So we've just had the pre-chorus, right? And you notice that when we hit the pre-chorus, we start to get these layers, we start to get these harmonies, and again, it just adds some adds sort of like a sweetness, right, to those vocals that we wouldn't have if those harmonies or those layers weren't there. So yeah, absolutely banging.
'Cause I don't wanna go on, living a life that you've been missing, and I don't want nobody else to hold
Vocal
me
run there.
when I'm in pieces. I wanna be where you are.
Okay, right, quickly stop that, right? So there's a couple of things there that I noticed or to pay attention to. So, you know, when we get into the chorus, obviously we've got some nice harmonies and some layers happening with the vocals, but just pay attention, right? Like towards the end of the chorus, you get this real high note that just kind of overlays on the top, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, another thing that I've noticed here is that when we come out of the chorus, we don't just go straight into the verse. We almost have like a kind of bridge or like an interval between when the chorus ends and now when we get into the first verse. And that's really nice because it just shifts things up a bit. It changes it and it makes the transition into the second verse way better. And when that kind of interval is happening, you notice you get these vocals, these kind of breathy vocals. There's not lyrics in there. They're just happening like that. So again, absolutely perfect.
I want you to need
More harmonies.
me like the fire needs a spark.
And I really like that dun, 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 on the piano. Again, it's not happening all the time. It happens every now and again, and it just adds a little something different in there to stop things becoming repetitive.
To see it in your eyes.
Those vocals,
to
man.
lose myself completely like a full moon in the tide. Oh, I know it's complicated. You don't have to say a single word.
Listen to that high note. It just layers over the top. Just listen to it. It's not hard to hear. I mean, there's multiple layers in there, but they've made that very clear, very prominent. It's beautiful, man. I'm just going to take it back, right, just very quickly. Listen, it's coming up. Coming up, here we go. Stunning.
Cause I don't wanna go on, living a life that you've been missing. And I don't want nobody else to hold me when I'm in pieces.
Okay, right. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about here. So let's get the shortest one out of the way first. So you notice, right, that again, a kind of nice, easy transition, right, either into the chorus or out of the chorus into another verse, is that she actually just comes off the keys. Right, we have no interval, we have no clever riff, we have nothing that transitions us in. We get towards that back end. It's like the last kind of maybe 2 or 3 words just comes off the keys. And not only does that help transition into the next part of the track, right, but it brings emphasis to the back end of that phrase or those lyrics or whatever. So very good. Now, for aspiring artists, up-and-coming artists, emerging, whatever you want to call yourself, right, pay attention here to the way that she shifts the power within her vocals from the verse to the chorus, right? So the verse, it's not soft, right, but it's softer than what it is in the chorus, right? And that's the right thing to do. Have these kind of verses which, you know, they don't have to be soft and subtle and all breathy and all of this. They don't have to be that. And she's proving that here. But to really kind of ram home that chorus and make it sort of like big, like a chorus is supposed to be. Listen to how she heightens the power within her vocals to really help bring that to life. Absolutely. Again, man, it's just stunning from start to where we're at now. It's been absolutely banging.
Nobody else to hold me when I'm in
Off the keys there.
It's like I'm barely breathing, strung out on a feeling that I know I can't explain, but you've got to believe
And again, right, something to pay attention to here is the bridge, right? So the section that we're in right now is the bridge. And, you know, for anybody that doesn't know, and I will keep it very short, right? A bridge is essentially just, it's something within a song that is different to the rest of the song, right? The rest of what you've heard. And it's a good way, especially, you know, tracks like this, or, you know, where you've kind of got extended choruses or whatever. It's just a really good way to break up the track, to stop it getting repetitive. So yeah, really nice bridge there. And when you're in that bridge again, you get some of those additional layered vocals, and you get that with the kind of breathy vocals there. So again, absolutely spot on.
I would die to keep you in my veins.
Off the keys again, look.
I wanna be where you are.
Listen to that.
Fearless lying by your side while you count the stars. Oh,
Yeah, go on, man. Jesus, man.
And I don't want nobody else to hold me when I'm in pieces.
Nice vocal runs now.
Only when I'm in pieces.
Yeah, mate, go on. Okay, so some final thoughts on the track. The first thing for me is I like the fact that it's just the piano and Chlöe. You know, it's a stripped back, intimate track, and generally I'm a fan of those. But to be honest, with these types of tracks, I'm here for the vocals, right? Because it is these types of tracks where you get to know whether an artist can sing or whether they can sing, right? And there was a big difference between those two things. Like I said in the video, right, you know, in these types of tracks, the vocals are exposed, they're vulnerable. And so, you know, if you hit any bum notes, or you have any breaks in the voices, or you're not able to transition through the ranges smoothly, you're going to hear it because there's no drums, there's no bass, there's no additional instruments that's there to kind of cover that up for you. So it's actually quite a ballsy move. I think as listeners, we don't necessarily appreciate how ballsy it is, but also it shows, in my view anyway, how confident an artist is in their ability to actually be able to sing. I really liked what they did to the vocals, the way that they kind of added these additional touches. So we had some layers in there, we had harmonies, we had these high notes that were pitching over the top, and they kind of come in the pre-chorus, chorus, in the bridge, but also within the and I'm going to call it like an interval that we had between the chorus and the chorus ending and the second verse starting. Just real nice touches to help bring those vocals to life and just add a little something extra to the track. Overall, I think as a vibe, as a feel, I absolutely love this track, and it is definitely 100% going on my playlist. Okay, that's it from me. I'm off to go and grab a latte. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one.